Hello chess fans and welcome to Chess5, and today I'm going to show you the game between Nepomniachtchi versus Alireza Firouzja, and this game is from the Grand Chess to Paris Blitz 2021 and this is the round number 17. Actually, you can say this is one of the craziest games played in 2021. This game is going to be epic. And Nepomniachtchi has been qualified for the World Chess Championship title to fight against Magnus Carlsen, and Alireza Firouzja is a young prodigy who turned recently into 18 years old, and there are rumors that perhaps he would become the next World Chess Champion in the future. So obviously we have this game is going to be an epic game. So without any further ado, let's start the game. But before starting the game, if you are new to my channel, then please subscribe to my channel, and let's now start the game. So Nepomniachtchi with the white pieces started with 1 e4, and we have c5 in the board by Alireza Firouzja, the Sicilian defense. Here we have knight to f3, knight to c6, c3, c3. The idea of playing c3 is here white is trying to play d4, and after playing d4, white would be having a very nice center. So after c3, black plays knight to f6, attacking the pawn on e4. So now white cannot play d4 because the pawn on e4 is hanging. So white played pawn push to e5, attacking the knight. Here black plays knight to d5. Here Jan played d4, c into d4, and here white plays bishop to c4, attacking the knight on d5. Here capturing up the pawn is also a fine move, but Jan gone for by playing bishop to c4, attacking the knight on d5. So after bishop to c4, black played knight to b6, attacking the bishop on c4. So Jan simply pulled the bishop back to b3, and after bishop to b3, black played g6. In this position, capturing up the c3 pawn is also fine move, but after knight into c3, if you all are humans, then it would be scary for black side to play because white pieces are all developed, and after castle, I think he's going to launch a very deadly attack, and if you would be able to survive that attack, then perhaps you would be better. But for now, white is better in this position after sacrificing a pawn. So that's why after bishop to b3, black played g6, simply saying, okay, you can grab the pawn, I'm going to play bishop g7. And after playing g6, white played knight to g5. Yep. And the threat of knight to g5 is to checkmate the black king by playing bishop into f7. And in this position, Alireza Firouzja with the black pieces played knight into e5, and this was the blunder by Alireza Firouzja. It's already move number 8. Yeah, just the starting of the game, and already on the move number 8, Alireza Firouzja just made a terrible blunder. So after knight into e5, here Jan captured the pawn with the queen, attacking the knight, and after capturing the knight, there is a mate on f7. So here after queen into d4, here Alireza played f6, protecting the knight and also attacking the knight. Here black are having options like d6, bishop g7. Many of you were thinking that move, but d6 is not going to work because now comes knight into f7, and after knight into f7, here comes bishop into f7 check, king into f7, queen into h8, and it's winning position for white, completely winning position. So that's why after queen into d4, if black plays bishop g7, now comes bishop into f7 check, knight into f7, and now comes queen into g7. And now the threat is to capture the rook, and even there is a checkmate on f7. So black is forced to, he can't capture the knight of course because there is a simply going to lose the queen. After king f7, queen into d8, and black is just a queen down. That's why here rook f8 is forced, and after knight into h7, believe me guys, it's a winning position for white. So that's why after queen into d4, black decided to push the pawn to f6. It looks like an ugly move, but it's what you have to do. So after f6, Jan played queen into e5. Wow, this move was wow. Queen e5 is an epic move. First of all, you can't capture the queen because there is a checkmate on f7. Second, if you try to capture the knight, this is also blunder because white will simply capture the rook on h8, and this is winning position for black. Actually, as it's a blitz game, it's not at all easy move to find queen into e5. It's an epic move by Ian Nepomniachtchi, and this move shows his level. So after queen into e5, Alireza played d5. Yeah, the d5 stops all checkmate ideas on f7. So that's why after d5 the queen is now attacked, so queen have to go back to e2, and now black simply captured the knight on g5. Here comes bishop into g5. We have bishop g7, castle, queen to d6, and in this position, if you count the material is even, but white have already castle, white pieces are all developed, and he can launch a very deadly attack, and the black king is in this still in center. So I think white is actually very better here, and perhaps he will win the game. So after queen d6, here white played knight to a3. Yeah, plan is to play knight to b5 and some ideas of like capturing up the queen and knight c7 ideas. So here comes bishop to d7. Here comes the rook a d1, developing the piece, and actually after rook d1 all pieces of white have been successfully developed, and white just need to play rook e1 or even f4 f5 with a nice idea for white. So after rook d1, black played e6. Here we have knight b5, bishop into b5, queen into b5 check, queen to d7 asking for a queen trade. And guys, in this position, if white trades the queens, it's like all the white is still plus in this position, but the material is even, and if black plays the perfect chess, he's going to equalize the position. So that's why when you are attacking the opposite king, you must try to not trade the queens, because if there would be queens on the board while you are attacking, the opponent would be in a big trouble. That's why after queen d7, Ian played queen to b4, not trading the queen, because he in this current position he's the one who is attacking. That's why he can play something like rook fe1, and his all pieces are in a very good squares, a very nice coordination by all the pieces, and I think he's going to win the game. That's why he didn't trade the queens and played queen to b4. So after queen b4, black played h6, attacking the bishop on g5. Here we have bishop to h4, g5, bishop to g3, and here comes queen e7, asking again for the queen trade. And Ian played bishop to d6, now trading the queen. Here comes queen to d7. Here we have rook fe1. And now white all pieces are nicely placed, and actually this is completely winning position for white. But it's very soon to say that white is going to win the game. If it would have been a classical game, then we can say that white is going to win the game, but as it's a blitz game, it's going to be very fun now. So after rook fe1, black played long castle, and feel free to pause the video and try to find the move which Ian Nepomniachtchi played in this position. Ian Nepomniachtchi played an extraordinary move. Try to find it. Okay, so to all those who have found the move which Ian Nepomniachtchi played, it was a blunder move, because Ian played rook into e6. I don't know how many of you have thought rook into e6 was the right move, but it was simply a blunder move by Ian Nepomniachtchi. Here Alireza simply captured up the rook with the queen, and nothing is happening. I think here after queen e6, here Ian played queen to c5 check. Here black is having only one square to go to d7. I think that's the point. Ian Nepomniachtchi perhaps missed that king is having a square on d7, and he here perhaps thought that queen cannot capture the rook, because then it would be a checkmate. But that is not a checkmate, and Alireza Firouzja is very lucky, because after king d7, here comes queen c7 check, king e8, queen into g7, rook g8. Here black cannot capture the bishop because the rook is hanging on h8. So that's why first rook g8, queen into b7, and rook into d6. And in this position, if you will count the materials, black is just a piece plus, and recently we can see that white was winning completely, and now black is a piece up and he's winning completely. But it is very soon to say that black will win this game. That's why after rook into d6, white played queen into a7. Here black played king f8, a4 because white is having sorry for that. Here white is having many pawns on the queen side, so he should try to push the pawns. So after a4, black played knight to d7. Here we have bishop into d5. Very nice move by Ian Nepomniachtchi. Here king g7 was played. Here black cannot capture the bishop because now comes queen a8 check, and queen is preparing to capture the rook. So after king e7, queen into d5, queen into d5, rook into d5, and according to engine it's a draw. But if you are human, then you can favor white in this position because white is having 3 pawns on the queen side, and even he will be able to sacrifice all the 3 pawns for these 2 pawns. Then I think still white is having a very large amount of chances to win the game. So that's why after bishop into d5 you cannot capture the bishop, so black played king to g7. A very nice move by Alireza Firouzja. Alireza is saying, okay, you can capture my queen, I will capture your rook, and going to do a checkmate. So obviously Ian Nepomniachtchi is not going to capture the queen, although he blended the bishop rook, but okay, he's not going to blend the game. So after king to g7 he played c4, and he's protecting the bishop on d5. And in this position Alireza played queen f6, which was a very big blunder by Alireza Firouzja. In this position he should have played rook to e8, and now still the bishop cannot capture the queen because it's a checkmate. And now the threat is perhaps to give a check on directly e1, and now he can move the queen in the future. So it would have been a nice move, but after queen to f6 now comes a very powerful move, too powerful, which is c5 by Ian Nepomniachtchi. Wow! The idea of playing c5 is here the pawn is basically attacking the rook, so the rook have to move, but the rook actually cannot move because the knight would be hanging on d7. So that's why after c5 here Alireza played rook to e8. He have to give up the rook on d6. So here comes c into d6. Here we have queen into d6. Here comes g3. And after black blended by playing queen f6, c5, now it's completely winning position for Ian Nepomniachtchi. So after rook e8, here comes c into d6, queen into d6. Here we have g3, yeah, because there would be no backrack mates in the future. So after g3 comes rook e7, and if you count here the material, here white is 3 pawn plus, and it's completely winning position for white. But it's very soon to say that white is going to win the game. That's the real fun of chess. Here after rook to e7, white played bishop to f3. Here the rook is attacking the queen as well as the knight, and the rook is protected by the bishop on f3. So after bishop to f3, black played queen to e6. Here we have queen to d4 check, knight to e5, bishop goes back to g2, rook to d7. Here bishop to d5. Here queen cannot capture the rook because the rook is also protected by the knight. So here comes bishop to d5. Here we have queen f6, queen e4, rook e7, king g2, h5, trying to do some attack on the king side as white is completely winning in this position. So white simply pushes the pawn to a5. Here black played h4, a6, h3 check, king goes to g1. Here if we will try to capture the pawn, sorry, because now it's a draw position. After queen into f2, it is going to be a draw, because here for a sample line, here white pushes the pawn to a7. Now comes g4 check by Alireza. After queen into g4, knight into g4, sacrificing the queen. Here comes a8 queen, and after knight to f6, here comes bishop to f3. And believe me guys, it's an equal, although white is a 3 pawn plus, but black is somehow going to make a draw because white king looks terribly weak, but actually any of the side is going to make a repetition and going to draw the game. That's why after the white is forced to go to g1, and here black captured the pawn on a6. Here white played queen f5. Here black played queen h6, protecting the pawn on h3 because white was attacking the pawn on h3. So white played here a terrible move, which is bishop to b3 by Ian Nepomniachtchi, and this equalizes the position. After bishop to b3, in this position he should have played b4 and should simply try to push the pawn and make a queen. But he played bishop b3, which equalizes the position, and now comes queen h5, a very nice move by Alireza Firouzja. Here the plan is to capture the rook on d1. Many of you were thinking that why? The first for example line, if white tries to play bishop to a4, and here comes a very powerful move by black, which is queen into d1, simply capturing up the rook on d1. Because after bishop into d1, here comes a very nice nasty move by black, which is knight to f3 check. Wow! It doesn't matter which piece you are going to capture the knight, it's going to be a checkmate on e1, and it doesn't matter if you try to move the king, it is going to be rook e1 checkmate, game over. The h3 pawn covers the g2 square and knight is protecting the rook. It's a checkmate. That's why that was the problem. So after queen h5 he played king h1, because if you try to do the same variation now with the knight f3, there is no check, so white will win the game. So after king to h1, here Alireza played knight to g4, and this was a blunder. This was again a blunder. In this position he should have played sorry about that. After king to h1 he should have played queen to e2, and the idea of playing queen to e2 is here after queen into g5 is winning position for black, because after knight into g6 many of you were thinking that black is just giving up a pawn. But after knight g6, believe me guys, it's going to be a checkmate. There is queen f3, like stuff like that. It's going to be a checkmate. Perhaps the rook queen e1 is also winning. Perhaps queen into d1 is also winning, because the rook will come to e1. It's completely winning. But after queen e2, it's actually a draw, because white plays queen c. Sorry about that. Here white plays bishop to c2. A very nice move by white. And in this position, although it looks like black is going to do a very nice attack, but actually it's an equal position. So after king to h1, black played knight to g4, which was a blunder, and here in this position white is completely winning in this position. So after knight to g4, white played rook to f1. Here comes knight to f6, which was again a blunder. He should have played knight h6, and there would have some chances, like black is perhaps planning to play queen to f3 check, although white is currently now protecting the square. But if white will lose the f3 square, there would be a checkmate, and perhaps there could be some idea with rook e8, rook f8. There could be many ideas. So that's why after rook f1, knight f6 was played, but knight h6 was a much nice move. Here comes queen to d3, and queen to d3 was a blunder by Ian Nepomniachtchi. In this position he should have played so in this position he should have played king to g1, and actually it's a winning position, because the move he played, here comes queen to e8, and now the plan of black is to play something stuff like rook e1, and actually it's an equal position. Here white pushes the pawn to f3, and here comes rook to e3. Here Ian played queen to f5. In this position white, I think anyone like perhaps even a unrated would play queen c2, yeah, because the rook was attacking the bishop. But what Ian played, queen f5, I don't know what he was thinking, but he just blended the bishop on b3 for free, and now it's completely winning position for black in this position. So you see guys, this is how interesting chess is. So after rook to into b3, white plays queen into g5 check. Here we have king to f7, queen to h4, and here black plays queen to e6, which equalizes the position. At the place of playing queen e6, he should have played queen to c8. And after playing queen to c8, black is having threats like queen c2, perhaps planning checkmate on g2. The queen is protecting the pawn on h3, and now comes the craziest threat of black is to capture the pawn on f3, because after rook into f3 comes queen to c1 check, and it's after rook f1 black will simply capture the rook, and it's going to be a back rank mate. So that's why after queen c8 it was a nice move, but after queen to h4 black played queen to e6, which was the blunder, and it equalizes the position. But after queen e6 white played queen to d4, which was again a blunder by Nepomniachtchi. In this position he should have played g4, because now the threat of white is to push the pawn to g5, and he's perhaps going to make a draw by playing queen h7, perhaps queen f4. It's going to be a repetition. But queen d4 was played in this position, which is now winning for Alireza Firouzja, because here Alireza played queen to e2. Now there is a threat of to checkmate the white king by playing queen g2 checkmate, and even the rook is hanging on f1. So white simply dragged the queen back to f2, and here comes queen b5. Here white is forced to play rook b1, because here black was threatening to capture the pawn on b2. So here comes rook b1 protecting the pawn on b2, and after rook to b1 white played queen to d5. Here the threat of white is to capture the pawn on f3, so white played rook f1 here, and here Alireza played a fantastic move, which is knight to g4. Wow, here because he's a piece up, he should use his piece or he will lose the game. So after knight to g4, here white cannot capture the knight because the pawn is pinned, so white is forced to play something like queen e2, which was played in the game. And now comes knight to e5, and now there is a triple attack on the f3 pawn, and white cannot protect the pawn 3 times. Yeah, although he's protecting the pawn 2 times, he can't protect the pawn 3 times. So here he played queen e4, asking for a queen trade. Here queen into e5, queen into e4, f into e4 with a check. Here black played king e6, and in this position black is just a piece plus. Yeah, here rook f2, here comes knight g4, rook e2, rook d3, preparing to checkmate white king. So here comes rook e1 force move. Here black played rook to d2, preparing to capture the b2 pawn. So here Ian played rook to b1. Here comes rook into h2 check, king to g1, rook to g1, rook to g2 check, king to f1, knight to e3, and it was in this position Nepomniachtchi with the white pieces resigned the game, and Alireza Firouzja with the black pieces won the game, because white is forced to go to e1, and after here black will simply push the queen, and it's a forced checkmate in one move by making a queen on h1. So it was, I think, one of the craziest games played in 2021 by both the players. Both the players made terrible blunder, both the players, and it was a very fantastic game by both the players. It was more like a fun than experience, because okay, as it was a blitz game, we can take it as okay, GMs can also make a blunder. One of the top players can make the blunders like this. So guys, if you like this video, then please like to my video. And if you are new to my channel, then please subscribe to my channel. I will come up with these new videos for you, so please stay tuned. Thank you for watching, and bye bye.